Have you ever wondered about the man whose story has shaped civilizations, inspired billions, and continues to be told 2,000 years later? This is the story of Jesus Christ, a figure of history, faith, and profound influence.
Ho, ho, ho!
Our story begins in the small town of Bethlehem, where a baby was born in the humblest of circumstances, in a manger, to a young woman named Mary and her husband, Joseph. Angels heralded his arrival, and wise men traveled from afar, following a star. To honor the newborn king, this wasn't just any birth, it was foretold by prophets for centuries.
Ho, ho, ho!
Jesus grew up in Nazareth, learning the trade of a carpenter from Joseph. For 30 years, he lived an ordinary life. But at the age of 30, everything changed. He was baptized in the Jordan River by his cousin, John the Baptist. As he came up from the water, the heavens opened, and a voice declared, "This is my beloved Son, with whom I am well pleased."
Ho, ho, ho!
This marked the beginning of his public ministry. For the next 3 years, Jesus traveled throughout Galilee and Judea, not as a king with an army, but as a teacher with a message. He gathered 12 disciples, ordinary men from different walks of life, to learn from him and help spread his teachings. What was his message? It was revolutionary. He spoke of love, forgiveness, and compassion.
Ho, ho, ho!
He taught in parables, simple stories with deep spiritual meanings that everyone could understand. He told people to love God with all their hearts and to love their neighbors as themselves. He reached out to the forgotten and the marginalized, showing kindness to tax collectors, the sick, and the poor.
Ho, ho, ho!
But Jesus didn't just teach with words. He performed incredible miracles that demonstrated his divine power and compassion. He turned water into wine at a wedding, healed the blind and the lame, calmed a raging storm with a single command, and even fed thousands of people with just a few loaves of bread and fish.
Ho, ho, ho!
These acts weren't just displays of power. They were signs pointing to a deeper reality that the kingdom of God was at hand, a kingdom of healing, restoration, and abundance. However, his growing popularity and radical teachings threatened the established religious and political leaders of his time. They saw him as a troublemaker who challenged their authority.
Ho, ho, ho!
The tension mounted, and during the Passover festival in Jerusalem, Jesus was betrayed by one of his own disciples, Judas Iscariot. He was arrested, put on a sham trial, and condemned to the most brutal form of execution reserved for criminals, crucifixion. He was nailed to a cross on a hill called Golgotha.
Ho, ho, ho!
Even in his final moments, he showed incredible grace, asking God to forgive those who were executing him. He died and was buried in a borrowed tomb, sealed with a massive stone. For his followers, it was the darkest moment. Their hope seemed lost, buried with him. But the story doesn't end there. 3 days later, something extraordinary happened.
Ho, ho, ho!
Some of his female followers went to the tomb to anoint his body, but they found the stone rolled away and the tomb empty. An angel appeared and told them, "He is not here, he has risen." Just as he said, Jesus then appeared to his disciples, not as a ghost, but alive, in the flesh.
Ho, ho, ho!
He ate with them, talked with them, and gave them a final mission, to go into all the world and share the good news of his life, death, and resurrection. This event, the resurrection, is the cornerstone of the Christian faith. It's the ultimate victory of life over death, of hope over despair. The story of Jesus is more than just an ancient tale.
Ho, ho, ho!
It's a message of unconditional love, radical forgiveness, and the promise of new life that has resonated through the ages and continues to transform hearts and lives today. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through one of history's most powerful stories.
Ho, ho, ho!
If you found this meaningful, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more content that explores faith and history. We'll see you in the next video.
Ho, ho, ho!